Well, here we are. So first, going back to last week, I was reminded that I said reverberate because I wrote it down that way in my notes, but it's reverberate. So just a little disclaimer that any of you that would use that word don't use it like I did. Reverberate. Although you think of the reverb on the amp, that's I guess what was in my head. Anyhow, today, no politics, just running through something I think is important. So, a disclaimer, I put strategy for positivity, but I struggle with this too, and certainly didn't come naturally. And I fight, that's why I have to think about it. So, I think it's important and probably could help all of us to run through this. So here's my shot at that. I think we need to have a strategy for anything that's important. So that's kind of the way I look at things when faced with a challenge. But this is a major challenge for all of us because it affects everything. So I think positivity really is from two things: health and mindset. I'm going to take mindset first. I've read multiple articles here. All of this ties together. You see it just many different ways, and it's all kind of the same thing. So I've hashed that all together in my Slumgullion, to go back to another one. But first of all, I did read placebos work. There's a lot of studies that there's 30% effectiveness with placebos and even higher. So why would a placebo work? If you know what that is, it's just a fake medication or no medication that you think you're taking. But why would that work? Well, your mind would make that work. And I think that proves the mindset portion of some of this. Alternatively, we've heard of hypochondriacs where they hear about something and they develop it. They can actually develop the symptoms of what they think they have. And that's all mindset. So I think there is no doubt that mindset is real. Both of those things prove it. So we need to think about that and alter our mindset. So first of all, negativity. We need to really remove that from our lives. And I've gone through small pieces of this in all of my posts previously, but I think we need to remove people that are really negative in our lives or affect us that way. Posts that I talked about blocking on Facebook once. Media, watching negative media can be harmful. And internally, we have those negative things, resentment, jealousy, anger, all those emotions that maybe things that happened in the past that we need to get over. The past is forgiven. We need to get on. And we also need to know we can't control everything. So if something bad happens and we're stressing about it, some things you cannot control, and therefore you should not let them affect you. If they do, you should make a positive response to whatever that is. And I've said this one before. I always liked it though. The athletes that envision positivity, they will envision themselves making the play or doing the score or running the course. They get that in their heads. There's a reason. There's trainers just for that, for athletes. There's a reason they do that. And that positivity, it feeds itself. It just helps your mindset, and then it's like the catch-22. It just keeps going on. So you've got your mindset affecting your health, but you also have your health affecting your mindset. So I'm not saying all can be overcome. We know that you just can't think your way out of everything, but there's no doubt that a positive mindset can affect your health because of, back to the placebo thing. So I pulled out all the pieces of what I've read that would be positive towards your health. And of course, first one always mention exercise. So I know everybody goes, yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's all, none of this is that easy, but even a little bit of exercise, you feel better. Now, part of that is possibly the placebo effect, where you take a little walk and maybe it's only a half a mile because that's all you can do. And in the when you read about other people or hear, you say, boy, it's nothing, but it isn't. You're doing something. You're doing something to your ability, and that'll make you feel better just knowing that you do it. So it doesn't have to be a whole lot, and you can start off with a little bit and just go with it. And you'll have that positive mental outcome from doing that. And of course, there's a physical one, the endorphins, where you release a little bit. And that helps you too. I find you can't just be sitting in a chair, and I know I do this, especially in the winter, but sometimes I'm just tired and I sit there and I'm not really doing anything, and I say, I have to get up and move. And there's times where I'll just walk outside. And then I find myself looking at something that needs done, or the landscaping, or pulling at this, or in my wife's case, it's weeding. She disappears because she started weeding, and an hour later she reappears. But you're up, you're moving, you're outside instead of just sitting there. And just doing that can help. I find a lot of times I don't want to practice trumpet, and so I force myself just to play some warm-up notes so that I can get started. And before you know it, I'm playing some songs and having a good time. So I've altered that mindset and taken and done something positive with it. So 2 examples there, but I think you understand that. Then I talk about, you read about air, but outside air is, of course, very important. So how can we get a little better of that, short of living in, middle of the city or Beijing, China or something? But bringing outside air into your house in the winter, in heating season, get a little bit in, open a window occasionally. Inside air, really important this time of year. And on my tickler on the calendar in fall, I change filters. I think I've talked about this, but furnace filters, HEPA filters, they've said really help, especially in a room. So possibly the one you sleep in at night, you're running a HEPA filter all night. Those things determine air quality and help that, and would help you too. So that's a helpful thing. Food, again, always hear about it. I think less food and better food is what we need to go for. The typical American just eats too many calories, and a lot of it's just not good. It's processed or fried, things like that. So how can you knock out some of that stuff? It's tough, but you know all of this, and it's something we should attempt and change our tastes somehow. And soda, of course, I knocked that out years ago, but it's just totally wasteful calories and isn't good in a lot of ways with the sugar and everything else. But there's one that would be, to me, very simple just to stop. At any rate, moving on, outside, if you're outside in the winter, you read that it's best to stay warm and dry. Don't stress your health with being underdressed, getting wet, working outside. Sometimes that can be a challenge and a mental challenge you want to take on. I know I've run races in a cold rain or biked and got into sleet by accident. And afterwards I said, yeah, I did it. Maybe it's a mental thing that can help you, but I think stressing your body is something you really don't want to do. So controlling physical stress is important, not overdoing the physical. Water, everybody reads, just have to drink more. We don't drink enough water. Not too hard to increase your consumption. Think about easy ways to do it. You can make sure you hit first thing in the morning right away, and have a bottle on your desk or a glass around, or a bottle all around all the time. Easy one to correct. Light for me in the winter. Maybe you don't suffer from this in certain areas, but very important to act more like it's summertime. So UV is good for you in most ways. So getting outside and getting a little bit of that is good. Inside, I have that UV light from my office or desk I talked about. Maybe that's a placebo, maybe it isn't. Don't know, but I think it helps, so I'm going with it. Vitamins, we've all heard that, but vitamin D especially is good for COVID supposedly, and you get that from outside and sun, which is better, but certainly I would make sure that's something in the winter mix. Relaxation, another important thing to help our positivity and our health, and that's just taking some downtime. I know some people that really hammer, work hard, and that's burning the candle with a blowtorch, and you need to think about that. No phone is part of that relaxation. Set it aside and stop. It's unbelievable when you look around how many people are constantly on that. The light, the thought, removing you from social situations, just needs set aside. Things that bring you pleasure, you should be doing. Even simple things like looking at a piece of art that you like, or something that pleases your eye. Those things, that gives you a positive feeling, and that's also part of that relaxation thing. One of the most important, I think, is friends. Sorry, I'm going fast, but there's a lot of little points here. There's just no doubt that when you're with your friends, you feel better. For the most part, unless they're picking at you, but some of my friends. But, you like that. If you've got good friends, that's the best thing you can do. Stay in touch if it's not possible because of distance, but that's just one of the best things to increase your positivity, relaxation. And lastly, I put meditation, but I believe meditation is not a placebo. It is real. So this is something you should search for. You know where I go. I'm not stating explicitly, but I think that if you don't have meditation, you're missing a huge piece, and you need to think about it and explore it. So there it is. To recap, we've got positivity. How do we get there? Have a strategy. Look at the pieces. Take your mindset, what affects it, exercise, good air, good food, water, light, vitamins, diet, relaxation, meditation, and that's it. That's the pieces that I find. I'm sure you can add to them, but take those pieces and see what you can do with it. Choose to be positive. Thanks for watching.